Hey, you guys, Tuesday, 12 o'clock Central. This is Walk Away Wealthy. I am Tricia Turner. I am the host of Walk Away Wealthy, formerly known as Anything But Average. We are now past our second year of running consistently on Tuesdays to bring you positivity. We want to help you grow your business. We want to help you improve your life, do everything that we can to help you live in abundance. And so every week I bring a guest to you who's definitely living an abundant life and definitely making a difference. Travis Plumb is with me today. Hi, Travis.
What's up, Tricia? Hey, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show, and hoping that I can share some a plethora of knowledge for the people who are watching today, and hopefully they can implement some of these things in their business. It's definitely changed my life, so excited to share and be here with you today.
All right, you guys, I want y'all to stay tuned because here's the deal. I've been doing real estate for a long time. If you've been paying attention to the real estate market, you've noticed there's been a shift in the market. And so some people call it a downturn. Some people call it, again, lots of other terms. It's the third time in my career that I've seen things shift like they have. Travis has not been in the real estate industry more than 5 years, not even more than 3 years, right, Travis?
Not even two yet.
Not even two yet, you guys. And
Coming up.
he and his partner are killing it in the real estate industry, and they're doing it using YouTube, right, Travis?
That's right. That's been our main stream of income.
So I want, for one, you guys that don't know Travis, I want you to kind of tell people, A, what you do for a living, where you are in the world, and how long you've been doing it. Let's start there.
Yeah, for sure. So a little bit about my background before I got into real estate. I owned a digital marketing agency. I spent millions of dollars on advertising. I really mainly worked in the real estate space. And about a year and a half ago, well, I guess it'll be 2 years this December. I was doing all this marketing for all these different companies and brokerages across the country and Canada. And I was like, you know what? I was I had a bad business partner back then that was doing some really shady things, and not to get into much of that, but I just decided that I was going to get into the real estate space. And actually, me and my business partner, Levi, we got into real estate basically at the same time. So I'll hit my 2-year anniversary this December. And I'll tell you what, it was the best thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. And of course, everything that we've done over the last couple of years has been far above and beyond, what I was kind of expecting to happen in my first couple of years of real estate. But now that we're here, we're only growing and tripling down while the market has kind of taken that downturn.
All right, so let's unpack a little bit of what you just said. Digital marketer for years, running businesses or helping other people run their business.
Mhm.
A, are you in real estate sales now?
Yes, I am in real estate sales. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I have been since December of 2020. So coming up on my 2 years. And, a little bit, about what we've been able to do is everything that we've done has all been on YouTube. Ever since the very beginning, we knew that YouTube was going to be the best platform. It's really funny because Levi had originally, he had started his Dallas channel. And when I reached out to Levi, because we had gotten connected through Michael Reese and Jay Kinder, we were all mutual friends. And I was actually, when I met Levi, I was actually over at Michael Reese's house working on one of their softwares, and Levi strolled into the room, and we kind of hit it off right there. Didn't really think anything of it, but a couple months down the line, I reached out to Levi because I saw him, on YouTube, and I was like, I've done everything. I've done Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google. I've pretty much tried just about anything and everything you can when it comes to marketing, and I was like, YouTube has to be the best way. So I saw Levi had launched his Dallas channel, and I was wanting to launch the Fort Worth channel because I kind of live a little bit more on the east side of Dallas, closer to Fort Worth. And I was figuring, since he was starting on Dallas, I would just start on Fort Worth, so that way things didn't intertwine. Because at the time we weren't partners. But a long story short, we closed our very first transaction last April in 2021. We've sold probably 240, 250 houses since then, all from YouTube. And we've probably done about 130 or $140 million worth of volume, absolutely free. No cold calling, no door knocking, nothing but YouTube. And of course, that was all SEO, and it was organic. So we didn't even have to spend money on advertising. So in about, a year and a half, we've been able to do about 140 million in real estate sales from YouTube.
All right, so you guys paying attention to this, if that didn't just blow your mind, you probably just need to jump off this right now, and nothing's going to, because if you didn't take note of that, less than 2 years, he and Levi both, so brand new real estate agents, paying
Yep.
for no ads, no cold calls, no door knocking, none of that stuff that people don't like to do. That's the stuff that is like, we in real estate have been doing it forever, but it's not fun. And most real estate agents don't do it. And therefore, they usually only sell 2, 4, 6 homes a year. That's it. these guys are killing it. So Travis, kind of let's step back a little bit. So you were doing digital marketing for years prior to doing real estate. Now that you've been in real estate and focusing all on YouTube, what do you see that you could have done differently prior to getting into real estate when you were just in that digital marketing space?
You know, it's really, I think that there's so many different ways to successfully market yourself, right? Um, if I would have done anything differently, I probably would have gotten into real estate a lot sooner. Instead of doing it for everyone else, I would have probably liked to have done it, for myself and just gone into real estate. But back then, I mean, I was absolutely terrified of the camera. So YouTube for me was never even really an option, because I was just so scared of the camera. Where now, I mean, we can hop on, we can go do a luxury tour and do it in one take. I mean, we have so much experience in it now, but I was deathly afraid of the camera. Still get super nervous if I'm like, out filming, but I just kind of get over that. But, in the marketing side of things, the people that I was attracting were the people that wanted to run Facebook ads and Google. And I've never been one to, try to share or help someone when I've never done it myself. Right. So I'd never been on YouTube previously. My expertise, I would say, was definitely in the ad buying space, buying, paid media and all that good stuff for multiple different platforms. So of course the clients that we're attracting then, if I could do it all differently, now that I know what we've done in real estate, I would have been telling people to get on camera way sooner. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all these different platforms. I mean, I would have definitely told people to build a brand, because I think, one of the most important things to understand is 99.9% of the time, no one really cares who your brokerage is. They're not going to do business with you because you're with Compass or you're with Sotheby's or something like that. They do business because they like you, they trust you, and they know you. And social media gives you that opportunity to get in front of people, get them to fall in love with you, get them to like you, get them to follow you. And then most importantly, getting them to trust you and then reaching out. So I think that, social media, no matter what it is, I do believe it's, a very good way to get the best quality leads, because when they reach out, they're at the bottom of the funnel. They already know us and trust us. So they're just ready to do business right away. So I think that if there was one thing I could have done different, I would have definitely focused more on, doing content and getting my name and my brand out there instead of worrying about anything else.
So now that you've done like Facebook, Instagram, everything, and YouTube, of course, is where you are now. When you look at all your whole like plate of digital advertising, things that work, things that don't work, there's a lot of real estate agents that focus only on Facebook. There's a lot that are only on Instagram. I believe that you kind of have to be everywhere, because I mean, everybody's on YouTube and everybody's on Google. So you have to be on these things. But when you look at that for the real estate agents that are only doing Facebook and Instagram, what would you tell them?
Well, it really just depends on what you really want to do. Like with Facebook, these conversions, same thing with Instagram, right? I mean, I think the conversions could be a little better. It depends on if you're doing like an organic strategy or paid. So if we're talking paid, Facebook and Instagram, I think are pretty close to the same. They have like a 1, 2, maybe a 3% conversion rate, where on YouTube we're converting at 15, 16, 17, 18%. So the conversion is significantly higher. And we're not like, I could go and turn on a Facebook ad right now and get 100 leads for $3 or $4 or $5 a pop, maybe even lower. But I'm going to have to call them. This is like the biggest thing about the difference from YouTube and any other like advertising, because YouTube, they call us. We literally have never done a single outbound strategy since we started this. It's all been inbound. But on Facebook, unless you are very detailed and have multiple retargeting campaigns built out, there's different strategies on Facebook. Like a lot of people, they just run, a high level ad with a picture, get your list of homes, boom. And it has an automatic place where it fills out whoever's clicking on the ad, it'll automatically fill out their information. And a lot of times that may not be the correct information, right? You want people to actually manually, fill that kind of stuff in, but those conversions are really low. So when I was running them, I had text message automations, email automations. I had a full blown call center that was calling leads that were coming inbound. And then I also had another center that would just text leads and email them. So I really had to do a lot in order to get them to convert. Now, I wasn't on the other end. I do believe it makes a big difference if you're trained and you're really good at sales. I think you can get better conversions if you have a lot of experience in the sales industry. I do believe that you can convert those better, but you're still going to have a lot of stuff in place in order to convert those leads on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm not saying that it's a bad way, by no means. It's a very affordable way. If you don't have a lot of time, I think that YouTube is, one of the best platforms, because YouTube doesn't take you time, it makes you time. And we can kind of dive into that a little bit more. Whereas Facebook, as soon as you turn those ads off, you're done. You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube is evergreen, right? It lasts forever. Like we have videos that we posted a year ago or a year and a half ago that are some of our top videos that are still getting, 2,000 or 3,000 views a day, sometimes 500 views a day sometimes. So that evergreen strategy, once we put that video out there, that lives forever. Where Facebook and Instagram, if you cut those ads off, I mean, you're pretty much done. So you're always having to do that. And I just think, now that I'm so busy, I would definitely not have time to call through 100 or 300. It would be so easy to get 300 leads a month from Facebook. But my biggest thing was always conversion, not the quantity of the leads, but the quality of leads that were coming in. So when we built out our, Facebook advertising platform strategies, we would have, 8 different or 10 different retargeting campaigns, because they say it takes about 7 to 12 touches for someone to get really comfortable with you and reach out, right? Yeah. So like if you're not running all these different retargeting campaigns, it makes it even worse. So if you're going to do Facebook and Instagram, have a plethora of retargeting campaigns and testimonials and work those people down through the funnel. But I do think, it is a very good way to at least get some leads and stay busy for sure.
So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, like, you left this digital marketing space where you knew everything that you were doing, Facebook, Instagram, that you had been running for other people, to go into a whole nother area, A, as a real estate agent, and B, on YouTube. Like, what made you take that leap? Because that was a leap. You didn't know if it was going to work or not.
Well, for sure. And I can't take credit. Levi was the one who is the YouTube king. You know what I mean? He is the one who like really understands YouTube. Like I understand YouTube very high level. I understand exactly what to say, all that stuff. But when it comes to like really in-depth knowledge of SEO and optimization, Levi's just a genius with that stuff. And he is by far the most like meticulous guy I've ever met, very on top of it. But that has really helped me, step up my game, obviously, when it comes to all the other things. Because, the way that, me and Levi's business structure is, we're 50-50 on everything. He focuses all on content. That's why you see Levi everywhere, because he focuses all on the content. That is his baby. And then I run and manage the real estate team. So all the sales training and the conversions, contracts, anything that has to do with real estate sales, I run and manage that local team here. And then we help other agents all over the world, with, helping them on YouTube and all these other different strategies. So, that's kind of where, how our partnership is lined up. But I knew that YouTube had to be a very powerful platform. I never knew, I never would have imagined that we would have done the amount of volume that we've been able to do. But I did agree with Levi, and that's why I reached out to him, because I was like, when I first got licensed, I started cold calling and door knocking and doing RedX and all these different platforms. And I was like, nope. I had my Facebook ads rocking and rolling. And I was just like, there's got to be a better way. Yes. And for me, it's Texas, right? I'm not going to go knock doors, not that there's anything wrong with it. You can totally make it work. I just think that like, no matter what you do, just be the best. If you want to be a door knocker, be the best door knocker. If you want to run Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like just be the best at that. For us, we just had a feeling that YouTube was going to be a really good strategy of providing our value up front to the community, and hoping that, I believe in the law of reciprocity, right? The more I can give out to people, the more I believe that we're going to get back. And that was definitely the case with YouTube, because, when our leads, first started calling in, I couldn't believe it. I've been in marketing, I've been in sales since I got out of the military in 2010. And I've never in my life like seen leads like this ever. They were just like, oh, like when we first started, Levi was taking all the initial calls. We were doing Zooms, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's you, Levi. Like they know us, they love us. They're like, I can't believe it's actually you. And then the Dallas channel just started to blow up, which is why I kind of let the Fort Worth one go to the side. I just couldn't do both, because we started going, and it was just me and him at the beginning, from like 2 sales to 5 sales a month to 10 to 13, 14 a month. And I was just too busy. I was like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was new, I was just like, I'm just trying to figure it out over here. I'm just putting deals together. But I've always been great at sales. And even though, I mean, I would be going up against 40, 50 offers, but I would work the listing agent hard to get them to tell me about where we needed to be in the deal. Even though they didn't want to tell me, I would ask them 6, 7 times. No, I understand. Like, I don't want you to tell me exactly where. I don't need the exact number. I have a really serious buyer. I want to make sure that anyways, but even in this hot market, we were crushing it, and it was all because of YouTube.
So, I mean, for one, any agents that are watching, this goes everywhere. It goes on YouTube, of course, and it'll be everywhere. So, people that are watching this, I hope you guys are like freaking out, because, again, a top producing agent, like in a team or in any organization, if you sell more than 20, 40 homes a year, you're like killing it. If you sell over 50, holy crap, that's like 1% in the nation. These guys are less than 2 years in the industry. You hear these numbers, and there's no cold calling, there's no door knocking, and they're having people call them. So I want to walk kind of through that. Like, Are you guys going out showing houses? Are you taking listings? Let's help people break down those numbers.
So ours, that's a really great. I love to do that. Yeah, we are very buyer heavy for right now. That's just kind of what it was. And like, let me tell you this. The reason why we're so buyer heavy is because if you think of how YouTube and Google works, if you're out of state, you're coming from California, you've never been to Dallas or anywhere you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in, living in Dallas, right? You're going to type in a city or something along those lines. So we knew that we needed to provide value to the people who were coming from out of state. So all of ours is mainly relocation. Now we're starting to get listings from local people. They're like, oh my, like we'll go somewhere and like we'll go down an elevator. We went to an event a month ago or something like that, and we were going down the elevator, and this guy looked at Levi, and then he's like, wait, you're the YouTube guy that does the real estate thing? And it was just hilarious because like now we're getting local attention as well, but it didn't start off like that. So when people go and they're looking to relocate somewhere, they go to Google or they go to YouTube because they want to watch videos. Yep. So we never did individual house tours until lately, because this is like, I think this is what really separated us so much. Like, we never wanted to go viral. Going viral was never the goal, right? Our goal was to help people and to make a lot of money, right? We wanted the phone to ring, and that was our only intention, was getting that phone to ring and get it to ring off the hook. We didn't care about going viral. So we knew that like, if I go and do a $25 million house here in Dallas, I'm going to get a ton of views. I already know that. But are people who can afford those houses, like, until you build up a really big brand like Ryan Serhant and some of these other guys, like, I believe that takes a little bit of time to get into that. We've never got any huge listings or anything like that, but we wanted to make the phone ring. So we went out and showed people the neighborhoods, right? One of my favorite, there's a multitude of different things that we do. My personal favorite is I like vlogging, right? So our vlog strategy would basically be to and this is what I really want people to know also who are watching, is we did all of this on our cell phones. Okay. Our like first 150 videos, 200 videos, we were just cruising around. We just literally had our phone and we were like, hey, so you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas? Like, that's like everything we did was on our phone. So now we have full blown production and a full-time videographer and staff and like all this other stuff now. But that's like, at the beginning, you don't ever have to stop, or you can start right away, right? You don't have to let anything stop you, because we did it all on our cell phone. So when we're vlogging, the strategy is you want to have a hook, and then you want to have your intro. YouTube, everybody, every platform, Instagram, TikTok, you have a very, very short attention span of your audience. So a lot of people, I think that where they really mess up, and they're losing views, and you can see everything in the data where people drop off, right? So your first intro, right? Your hook, and then your intro needs to catch their attention right away. So we would be like, hey, so you're thinking about moving to Frisco, Texas? Well, and you want to know all of the pros and the cons. Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video today. So you're going to want to make sure, and at the very end of this video, I'm going to make sure to tell you the number one reason why you shouldn't move here. And that's probably going to be something like, you don't want to live here in the Dallas area if you love freedom and having a great time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hate having a great time, don't move to Dallas, because it's epic. You know what I'm saying? But then you have your intro, hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Frisco, Texas, then make sure you subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the market, right? Boom. So like at the very beginning, we're hooking them. If someone is Googled Frisco and they're looking at Frisco, that video is going to catch their attention. Oh yeah, that's me. And then what we would do is we would pick like one of the top 10 neighborhoods, right? And we would find a $350,000 to $450,000 home. We would find a $500,000 to $650,000 and a $750,000 to $1 million home. And we never went inside of the home because we wanted that content to be evergreen, right? A lot of people will show off their listings, but once that house is sold, it really doesn't do any good other than having content, which is totally cool. So you want to have a good mix of both. So we would just, when we went to this $350,000 neighborhood, we would just do our research and we would walk around, and that's where you see like the famous point from Levi. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and this was the house that's listed for $350,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. But we would vlog that neighborhood. We would see cars driving and kids playing and hit the park real quick. And then we would go to the next expensive house. And then at the very end, we would just do a little market recap for the city. And that was a 20-minute video. So I think learning how to really compartmentalize the video helped me a lot because I was really scared. I was like, how am I going to do this 30-minute video without taking a break? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just, hey, get your hook, step aside, do your intro. And then you don't have to overcomplicate it. Like the editing is going to all be done. Like we have an editing agency. So a lot of our, like we work with people on YouTube, like all over the country and other countries as well. And they have a hard time. A lot of time people want to edit their videos. So it's like, hey, if you don't want to edit, just give it to us. We'll edit it. We'll do all the SEO, the optimization. We'll do everything for you. So now it's like, just shoot the video and then your editor whenever I saw these videos come together, I was like, because I was thinking I suck. And when the editor got it, I was like, damn, I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, we like to do vlog tours and pros and cons. We do map videos. We do all sorts of different things. And now we're doing more luxury properties for, Reels and TikToks and being able to use that content on multiple platforms.
So when you guys first started, so for people that are paying attention and they're thinking, hey, I can do this. Because my mind, when I listen to people's stories, my mind automatically goes, if they can do it, I can do it. Like I've been doing that forever. That's how I got into real estate. It's like, if they can do it, holy crap, I can do it. So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, if you guys can do this, because I know both of y'all, anybody can do this. You're not anything special. You're relentless, you're consistent, and you're determined, and you're driven, and you're hustlers. That's what you have to be successful. So when you first started out, kind of walk us through what a normal day was like then.
Well, it's funny because like a lot of people you have all this marketing, background. Well, I didn't have any background in YouTube, and we did this all free. I mean, this is something that we literally learned from the ground up. Now with other things that we're doing, yes, my marketing, advertising, building out funnels, it helps a lot. But for this, so at the beginning, what our days kind of looked like was a lot of research, right? We needed to, I think the most important thing is you have to take action, right? Obviously, everyone will always tell you that, but I think that if you have a plan, it makes you much more confident in taking action. That's where a lot of people, I think, drop the ball is they don't do the work up front. So they're nervous and they're scared because they didn't practice. So like whenever, like my hook and my intro, you see, I still have that down to a T. Yeah. So what we did was, for me, I wrote it down and then I took my phone and I recorded myself. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is, I recorded that whole hook and that whole intro. And every time I would go to the gym, I'd put my AirPods in and I would listen to it over and over and over and over again until I could just rattle it off, no problem. So then I knew that I needed to just focus on my 3 neighborhoods. So a little hack on your phone. Whenever we first started, we would do all the research. We would go to Google, we would go to niche.com. We would find out what the good schools are, what's fun in that area, what are the top neighborhoods, all these different things. We would go and we would Google it, right? And we would write down all of our notes, and we use Trello. So inside of Trello, we would just type and upload basically all of our notes into Trello. So when we went out there to film and all that good stuff, we had everything kind of ready to rock and roll if we needed to go back and look at something. But, for the intro, which is going to be probably one of your longest parts, because after you get them to like and subscribe, we tell them, about all the cool things about about that neighborhood. So what I did is I got a little sticky note and I just wrote maybe 12 talking points on a little sticky note. So I'm on my camera. It looks like I'm looking directly at my camera, but really I'm kind of cheating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I would look, because like I wouldn't necessarily remember the exact population, right? So I would just come over here and I would just be filming and I could just read my little talking points. And by the time you're done with, 8 or 10 talking points, that's probably 3 or 4 minutes. And your videos, they don't have to be 30 minutes or an hour long. I think every video needs to be exactly where you're natural at, whether that's 5 minutes, 25 minutes, wherever that flows naturally. You don't want to, go on and on and on and ramble. You'll lose people's attention, and you want to keep people on the platform as long as possible. But, at the beginning, I mean, our days were all filming, you know what I mean? Okay. We would just film and film and film. And then we started learning how to batch record. And that's a huge tip, right, is to batch record your content, right? So like I'm about to launch huge reels in TikTok. I've never done it before. I've been batch recording for about 2 weeks. Like last Thursday I came in and, I shot, 20 or 25 different reels, and then I'm going to go film luxury properties. So I'm personally, cause like I want to sell more real estate, because now that the market's turned, I'm like, okay, now it's probably time I have more time, a little bit more time. Plus we have a full blown staff. So I'm going to go and I'm going to try to bring in business on TikTok and Reels, and then I can help other people with that once I figure it out. But I mean, but at the beginning, we would just go and film, and like it's funny because at the beginning it would take 4 hours to do a vlog tour, because we weren't really sure what we were doing. We were not getting it right the first time. But now we can go knock out a whole entire vlog in an hour, and that video lasts forever. So like I said earlier, it doesn't take you time, it makes you time. Once you film that video, it takes you that little bit of time up front, but that video lasts forever. And we've made millions from our videos now in commissions, and we only have to do that maybe once or twice a month, and that's it. It prospects for us 24/7. So when we're speaking at these conferences and we're traveling and we're doing all these different things, YouTube is working for us. That's the most beautiful thing about it, is it prospects for us 24/7, 365.
Would you ever have imagined that in less than 2 years, you'd be doing what you're doing right now at this volume?
When I always shoot for the stars, right? And I told Levi, I was like, hey man, you keep doing this content, bro. You get the business and I'll close 100 homes my first year. I sold 67, you know what I mean? So it was, I didn't hit my 100 goal, but I surely believe that I could get there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Did I think we do 130, 140 million dollars and not even fully, because our first deal was last April. So yeah, maybe it's been 16, 17 months since we closed our first deal. I don't think I ever thought that we'd really do that, at the very beginning. But now I'm like, well, okay, now that we've done this, we need to get to $1 billion in 5 years.
I believe that, and you will.
Oh yeah, we're going to do it.
So, I'm reading this book right now called Mastering Your Focus. And in the book, it talks about people spreading themselves too thin. Like, I'm going to learn Instagram. I'm going to learn Facebook. I'm going to learn YouTube. I believe that's the same. I think you need to master something. And then when you get really great at that and you get it down, then expand. For a lot of people, YouTube is new. They don't know anything about it. Would you say that that's something that you enforce, like stick with one thing and go deep on it, then expand?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I definitely agree with that. When it comes to, that's all we did, right? I mean, we went so deep in YouTube, and we're writing a book right now about it. But, we that was the only thing that we put all of our focus and attention on. Now, I will say this, YouTube is organic, right? So there's really nothing that you can do to control the growth, right? When it's up, you're getting all these leads. When it's down, it directly is affected by the marketplace, right? Not that now that we've built everything out. I mean, I think we still, probably do, our best month, I think we had 37 closings, and our worst month we've had like 18 closings or something like that. Right?
That just sucks, right?
Yeah, but like it will do this, right? Now I will say that that's probably a very good book. I need to read that, because focus is everything. And then also, I believe that you should hire people before you're ready. I mean, we have hired a lot of staff now. I mean, across the board, even when we weren't making a ton of money, me and Levi, we paid ourselves extremely little, like barely enough to get by every single month, because we reinvested every single penny that we could back into the business. And that was our focus, right? Was we don't need to make a lot of money. We need to grow the business. We need to grow the brand. So we were able to do that. And now we have a lot more time. Now we have YouTube down. We have the team down. They know how to edit. We have editing schedules and all this stuff, which we teach people how to do everything on YouTube, even with the videos and the editing and the flow and the organization and all that stuff. But now, for a long time, I was like, I don't want to do Reels and TikTok, because it takes a lot of time if you're not smart about it, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing it like once a day or twice, that takes so much time. So now I'm going to test it out, because I'm just going to spend time batch recording. And the day before, I do all of my research, right? I go and I find 20 things that I think that I want to talk about, and I make them 15 to 45 seconds. 45 seconds is about 75 words. So that's what I'm shooting for when I'm planning for my Reels or TikToks, right? I'm planning to do that. But, that's only now because I believe that I could probably bring in additional 30 to 50 deals a year from Instagram and Reels, whereas YouTube is going to pump out 200, 300 deals a year. So that is in addition to, and I'm probably stepping out of production by the end of this year, so I can work on, helping other agents and stuff like that. But we give all the leads, for the most part, to our team, and everyone on our team, except for two or three people, will make over $200,000 a year just from the YouTube leads that we give them. So they're all super, super happy.
That is just insane. I'm like, every time I hear y'all's story, it just blows my mind, and I absolutely love it, because there's so many people out there that struggle. And really, I think some people just need to be coachable and be more open-minded and be like, get out of that fear factory and like, try it. What have you got to lose?
100%. I mean, if you want to do things that no one else has done, you're gonna have to be willing to put in the work like no one else is willing to do. I mean, that's just point blank. And the number one thing for YouTube is consistency, right? So whether you can consistently put out one video a week or 3 videos a week, we do 3 videos a week. We're going to bump it up to 4 because we're doing a live stream every single week now. But that's one of the number one things. So whatever you can do consistently, stick with that. If it's door knocking, if it's cold calling, if it's YouTube, I just think that like everyone should be doing YouTube. Like even if you don't do $100 million, what if you just did an extra 10 million a year? You know what I'm saying? That's $300,000 or so in commissions. I mean, that's life-changing money for anybody. I mean, quite frankly, an extra 300,000. So you don't have to do crazy numbers. Like maybe you just add an additional 5 million your first year, and then the second year it gets bigger and it gets better and it gets easier. Maybe you jump up to 15 million and then 25 million. You don't stop doing, if you're working your sphere of influence and you're already doing 20 or 30 or transactions a year, you don't have to stop doing that. You just have to be disciplined and focus your time on just being consistent and pumping out, 1, 2, 3 videos a week, and it will work. It will 100% work. We have people in extremely small markets. Like that's one of the questions we get asked a lot is, will this work in my marketplace? And it's just like, if you're in a small marketplace, like you have an even better chance to completely dominate.
Totally.
So
people don't think like that though,
Well, that's why, and here's the thing is I'm 36 years old. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaches. I believe that, if you want something, that you should go and hire that coach that's really, really, really good at doing that if you vibe with them. And I've hired, me and Levi both, we've hired, several mentors, and we still have coaches every single month because, but we spend tens of thousands of dollars for that stuff,
You have to.
But like, you have to. Like, that's the difference in millionaires and people who want to, just kind of dabble in things, right? Like, if you want to go out and make millions, I believe that you have to hire coaches. You have to reinvest back into your company. And I think a lot of that, the best thing you can do is reinvest in your mindset. I mean, instead being able to stay focused, stay determined, have a real goal. A lot of people, they're drifters, right? There's a good book on that. It's just like, you don't want to be drifting through life. If you don't have a daily goal and a weekly goal and a quarterly goal and a yearly goal, you're just drifting. You may get there once, you might get lucky once or twice, but to be the number one, to be the best, you got to always work on it, and you got to stay focused. I mean, that's all there is to that, for sure.
I freaking love it. I'm going to make you stop there because, hey, you guys, I want y'all to number one. If you're not like go at the edge of your seat right now, like, I want to learn more. I got to learn from Travis. How can I do this? How can I grow my business? I'm going to tell you something. So Travis will be in Houston with me on the 13th, which is a week from today. So we will not be having a live podcast next week because we will be at our event live. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be at Katie Vibes, which is right on I-10. There's a link that we'll be putting out. It's everywhere. You can go on Eventbrite. It's Open Book is the name of the event. And Katie Vibes has limited seating. So I'm going to, and it's a free event, guys. I'm going to tell you that it's going to sell out quick. We're going to go past capacity. So I would suggest you get your tickets right away because he is one of 13 people that will be speaking. And if you haven't learned a bunch just from what Travis just told you, you're going to hear even more when he's on the stage. So make sure you're at that event. And then Travis, if they can't make it to the event, how can they get a hold of you?
I mean, you can follow me if you want. I can drop that in there. But if you really want to learn about YouTube and you want to watch and learn, we show you exactly what to do. It's 5starstrategycall.com. You can actually get on there, and Levi will be presenting. He presents a couple times a week live where we do Q&A as well. So if you think that you want to get on YouTube and you really want to, bring in business like that, go to 5starstrategycall.com.
I love this. Thank you so much for doing this, Travis.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I love it. I think sharing is, sharing's caring, right? We want to help people out.
It is. And there's like struggling agents out there. There's brand new agents. There's seasoned agents that aren't selling anything right now. Travis is less than 2 years and they're killing it. And he's passionate about it. Y'all hear his energy, hear his passion. He's like, he wants to. So this is crazy.
It changed my life.
Yes.
Yeah, completely changed.
It's begun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna continue to get after it for sure. It's just, even though the market's slow right now, I mean, this is the time to do it. If there's ever been a time, it ain't gonna stay like this forever. It never does in real estate. It's going to get busy. So like when it does start getting busy again, like how much of the market share do you want to get? Like we're gonna triple down and quadruple down on content because hey, like it may have slowed down a little bit, but it will not stay like this forever. It's going to pick up. People are going to feel more comfortable and more confident in the marketplace as like it was just a big drastic shift from 2%, 3% to 6%. So it scared off a lot of people, right? And as far as like rates, but property values are still going up, that people are still buying every single day. And, we want to be there when it picks back up. We want to be the number one, team in Dallas that people think of when they want to buy or sell their house for sure.
I love it. Tell everybody again where your website is.
The actual website for Living in Dallas, the actual real estate company. Yeah, the website is livingindallastx.com. We got a new website, so it's actually pretty sleek.
Livingindallastx.com. You guys got to go check it out. Yep. Follow them. Subscribe because you're going to learn all kinds of stuff. And then remember, Katie Vibes, September 13th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. to hear from Travis and 12 others on the panel. And then you can actually do a special VIP dinner and drinks with us that night at 6 p.m. too for just a $99 charge. So you guys make sure to check it out. We'll put the links on there. Thank you so much, Travis.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you guys have an awesome day.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
All right.